Good evening, listeners to Human, and welcome back to our Papal States Pacifist run. And you join us outside Alexandria, where the Egyptians have reconquered it off the English, so time for us to take it back. Of course, it has been ours on a couple of occasions already. Hopefully this time we will actually finish off the Egyptians, because they seem to have just been surviving for far too long. They are still in Aleppo and in Jeddah. Now, you might notice there's a big other swathe of yellow on the map. We're actually only a few turns after the end of the last episode. But we didn't realise quite how much the Mongols had achieved. And I've now got map and trade information with them. So, yes, they conquered quite a lot. Even Helsinki has fallen under Mongolian rule. So the Russians are pretty much dead at this point. Whether they're starting to fight back, I'm not sure, but they certainly don't look like they're in the best of place. It's also carved Hungary into, into three, I guess, but it's really torn Hungary apart. Byzantines likewise have lost their capital, of course, so the Mongols have caused all sorts of problems, and we've done nothing to get in the way. I have also just had the message about the Timurids soon coming, so yes, things are only going to get more interesting in this part of the world. It is mostly Christian now. We've got about 96% here, 49 even in Jeddah, 96, 96, 69, and 88 over here. You see, we've done a pretty good job, all things considered. However, we do need to make sure we finish off the Turks and the Egyptians, I think, because we are going to have bigger problems to face before too long, and I wouldn't mind Dartus over here to give us something to fight from. So if I can build this up, that would be nice. At the moment, we're a little bit behind here, but luckily our military infrastructure doesn't need to be very well developed, to be honest. As the Papal States, Papal Guard, Swiss Guard will very much do the job. In terms of taking on Mongols, we just need to start focusing a bit on some of these gunpowder units to try and gain a little advantage wherever we can. Of course, when it comes to the Timurid elephants, yeah, we can shoot them down. They're nice big targets. So I think, actually, even Ronaldus is starting on the cannon foundry. So the Kulvarines will start to come in, which is very nice indeed. Now, what I have been trying to do in the in-between, you'll notice we've been going through turns a lot more in recent episodes, because I'm trying to not be too repetitive. I kind of want to make sure things are still moving forward. It is still the same Pope, Dartus the Tyrant. He just goes on forever and ever. But we are now trying to develop our economy a fair bit. The economy is much better than it used to be. You can see there up to 11,000 next turn, which isn't brilliant, but it's much better. And we're starting to get some good diplomats out and about. He's generating 234 there. He's generating, wow, yeah, this one's one of the really good ones, 312. This chap's going to try and get over to what is one of the better spots in this part of the world, over here in Yugoslavia. But yes, most important, of course, are these ones. So we're going to go conquer this land and take that over. This guy over here is getting us 1155. So luckily, there were plenty of rubbish merchants to attack on our way down. And any good ones got killed by the Inquisitor, who, to be honest, seems to have failed his last couple and now is not very good at all. I think he's about to die, to be honest. So, what else do we need to do? Well, I think, by and large, it's a simple case of heading into Alexandria and see where we go from there. But there is one more very, very important thing, which is this mission. Regicide from Venice. Our job here is to get rid of the Doge. Now, we very much could go for that, because I wouldn't mind getting some peace with Venice going forward, and it should very much improve our relations. So if we can make friends with the new king, that would probably be a good idea. So I'm going to try and fulfill that. I have a terrible assassin over here. This guy, well, pretty much all my good assassins have eventually been killed because of the sheer amount of tasks they've been tasked with, essentially. This chap, though, this chap's all right. He's come out very recently, killed a couple people nice and early on, got his stats up very quickly. Going to go and take out this guy on his way to Zagreb. This is where the faction leader is. He doesn't seem to have too much in terms of defending, but from the looks of my spy, outside 6%, they clearly have spies in there, so we might need to fish him out. Probably best to get the Inquisitor away in that sense. So time to head into Alexandria, clear this out one more time. There is another Sultan. Doesn't fancy our chances, but I'm sure if we do it ourselves, it'll be simple enough. The gates, I don't think the gates exist actually. I'm pretty sure the city is already badly damaged. We're probably going to be at the wrong wall once again though, but we shall see about that. Let's head in. In spite of the fact that there are about 7 holes in the wall over there, we're making our own entrance point just because it's nice and quick to get to the plaza. We're obviously pinned in these Mamluk archers. They should be hacked down by our Papal Guard without too many issues. It's obviously much easier to retrain than our other lads, so I'm sending them in first. The cannon, meanwhile, the cannon can kind of bring itself a bit closer because I wouldn't mind seeing if we can get a nice shot with the cannon over towards the plaza. So in time we'll go and do that. In the meantime, the Papal Guard can get themselves over to the street because I wouldn't mind just setting this one up. Naturally, we're going to have a few pot shots with the cannons here. A few buildings may burn down in the process, but a few horses might as well. Any is really a bonus. Really inconsiderate of them, though, to stand so near the market. I really would rather not burn that down if at all possible. And to be honest, we've only really hit about 4 horses so far, so it's not really been the best use of the cannon. But, you know, straight out of cannon school, there's only so much we can expect from them, really. Last round or two here, anything good going to come out of it? Probably not, you know, probably not. Start moving the rest forward. Time to charge in then. Let's get our lads forward and hopefully pin them in here. A nice charge would indeed be ideal. So right on top of the general for you chaps. Marvellous stuff. And send in these guys just to add a little bit of a second charge. Back us up a little bit. And in we come with the Sudanese tribesmen. Lovely stuff. Well done, my pilgrims. Hack them down. There goes the Sultan, and with that, yeah, they are going down. They've not lasted all that long here. A few of our men have been chopped, but frankly, not many at all, considering 2 fairly solid units here. But we got a couple good charges in. They did not charge on us, which does make all the difference, really. And the Papal Guard are just so good. Even now we are starting to get to the very much the mid to later game units are increasingly appearing. The longbowmen were mercenary options in northern Italy last time I looked. We're getting all sorts of gunpowder units and cannons appear, so I do like this era a lot more of this game. Possibly why I like the Teutonic campaign on the Kingdom's expansion in particular. But yeah, this has been a simple enough little victory here. Fairly efficient, a few men lost, but nothing more than you wouldn't expect. Bombard gained a bit of experience. So with that, Alexandria is back under our control. We'll keep it for eternity. I wouldn't mind getting some extra like merchants and priests out of the town. Obviously, every market will give you an extra one of those chaps. Let's sack the settlements. It is Christian enough for the time being, so I'm not really worried about that. Where are we? You know what? Repair those things for the time being, although I'm not too worried about the ballista maker. Yeah, merchant and not a diplomat, a priest, if anything. But they don't seem to be here, so there we are. Not a bad start there. Alexandria is back under our control. We'll see if we can pounce onto Cairo pretty quickly. I could get a spy, actually. Best I get one, because I could do with knowing what's going on in this part of the world.
After facing the terror of the Mongol invasion, nobody would have dreamed that a serious peril could ever rise from the east again.
Timur is here outside Yerevan, apparently. And that is going to be an interesting one for the future. Amiable, good and poor. Why has this changed so significantly with so many? It's a little bit strange. There we are. So, where are they? Somewhere in this part of the world. Now, if they're starting here, where will they be aiming? Quite possibly to Constantinople, quite possibly to Antioch or Jerusalem, Alexandria, all these sorts of places. So we'll see if anyone's able to put up a fight against them. Certainly inside a city you have a good chance, but they often just go around you when you try and block them like that. Certainly it won't really be a worry for quite a long time, because for the time being they're just going to start wandering in. They're going to get half the way to anywhere, go back for the next troops, and yada yada yada. So I won't worry about them for quite a while, like with the Mongols really. It's only about, I don't know, about 30, 40, 50 turns on when you really need to start worrying about their armies tearing you asunder. But for now, you can probably get back to training this chap over here. He has failed. That's not ideal, because we could do with him getting a bit better. There's a Mongolian merchant. Nice pile of money. I don't know how much I just got, but I am starting to develop that very nicely. You, sir, go and assassinate that guy. There we are. Another Frenchie goes down. The world is just a slightly better place. This guy's not great, but the apprentice can be passed over, so I might actually be best passing that to someone else. Yeah, maybe the other chap over here. Maybe I need to pass those two, but to do that they need to be in the same town, so that might be a bit awkward. Oh well, in time we might do that. So, this chap is finally safe with his big pile of retinue lads. As for Cairo, where are we? Spy, spy, spy. There is an army over here. Can we make it this turn? If we can make it this turn, we are going to go immediately. I think that is indeed what we can do. Fine. Could we take it out, though? That's the real question. They have a trebuchet. I reckon we could take this, actually. It's not going to be simple. We should probably take the extra 38 men, because we can at least get that retrained. If nothing else, we can just give this over to someone, anyone that will take it. And we're going to try and crack in our way right now. Let's just lift the siege for a moment. Get the spy in there. He got himself killed, which is really not ideal. Back to Alexandria then. Get another spy. Ridiculous. Yeah, we'll put that under siege and we'll crack that wall down in a few minutes when we get the opportunity to. So the rest of this situation seems to be fairly chill. I was going to go send these chaps just over the border. Start converting good old Jeddah. And in time, yeah, we'll maybe see something interesting go on in that direction. At the very least, we might see an army if it's coming towards us. Otherwise, though, we'll just hang around and check out, yeah, exactly what that force is. We will be fine in this part of the world for the time being. As for the Mongolians, they're not coming anywhere near Kaffa. I have a load of little dregs and things just hanging around on the border. So I should at least see them coming, assuming the boats aren't a thing. But they very rarely really use their boats, to be honest. So we'll probably be a-okay. As for Venice, they are fairly chill right now, but we do need to go and complete this mission. So to do that, we're going to try get a few more assassins out on the ground. Time to head into Cairo then, and this time we have to make sure the Egyptians aren't coming back. The new Sultan is here, which annoyingly means extra cav once again. They do have a very similar amount of men and units to us. We're just going to make sure we use ours very carefully indeed. Especially the Halberds can be an interesting unit to take on, and make sure we utilise our cannons maybe a little bit better than we did last time, although that was a fun little muck around. But this time we need to be as efficient as possible. He's a fairly young new leader, nothing too interesting on him, to be honest. He's more of an attacking sort of a chap, but can't really be too careful. He's Sultan, lots of heavy cav, so Papal Guard are going to have to be utilised as much as possible. Time to head in. Shots coming thundering in. Their infantry weren't standing at the walls to start with, but they are arriving now. So we're just trying to make sure we get nice and close to minimise the damage from the old towers. But we do need to be careful that we're not standing in the way the minute that this wall collapses. So that we do just need to be aware of. Come on, Mr. Cannon, finish the job. You two chaps, get yourselves over here as well. You might as well run in to join the party. Seems to be missing the wall now, it's down to 90%. Come on, last little bit. Down the wall goes, and with that, hopefully, we'll be able to crack through some of these chaps over here. Now, they have got, what, Arch Militia, Saracen Militia, Halberd. Okay, let's charge in the religious fanatics over here into the YouTube lads. We've got a few of these chaps to come take on the halberds, and you guys just try and run through as much as possible. We're going to leave these two guys at the back here. Hopefully they'll have an opportunity later to take on the cavalry. We definitely need a couple of our Papal Guard lads to just make sure we can get through them. So, the halberds are over there at a slightly wonky angle. We really don't want to have to face them too straight on. So if we can try and push through this, that would be great. Now, do you reckon we can get one flaming shot on this archer militia? Game doesn't want to do it. It's a little bit irritating. Can you shoot one of these buildings instead? That would be ideal. Yeah, shoot the Mamluks. Shoot the Mamluks instead, please. That would be marvellous. Maybe we'll just happen to get a shot on someone. We are having a little bit of a rout of some of these lads now. Not ideal, actually. Let's just run a bit out of the city. This is not great because we've got the halberds right there. We have just missed once again. You guys get over there to the archer militia. See if we can try and get around this time because they did quite a good job of blocking the entrance originally. Get over there. Quick, quick, quick. Oh dear, they're not really doing what I'd want them to at this point. And now the Mamluks are coming in. Okay. Just keep firing flaming shots, honestly. One good hit might just do the damage we need, but I'm going to start running these guys in to make sure we've got the reinforcements we need. That was almost our own men, but not quite. So you guys keep pushing on. Keep pushing forward. The halberds have barely taken any damage. Mamluks are not doing very much either. In come the proper infantry, and at this point this is all we have got. So let's try and pile them around the back. They should at least be more mobile than the halberds. Yeah, they're now steady and not quite so happy, but we are losing more than I would like at this point. 44 to 40%, which I need enough left at the end here to take on the general. So we're going to have to start piling on now. Oh, don't wait. Accidentally told him to do something else there. No, you go back and grab the cannon. Go and shoot the general. Thank you very much. We got more and more fanatics coming in the rear at this point. These guys are eager, warmed up. The halberds, yeah, we got them a little bit surrounded, which was good. That seems to just about turn the tide of that part of the battle. There we go. We are failing to go and kill this general, but we seem to have routed the rest of them. That's good to see. Right. If we can take out the rest of them and just leave the general, I'm confident we'll be alright. But right now we are still having the tower shoot at us, which isn't particularly ideal. Grab the, not the general one, you guys, go take out the archer militia. Don't need to worry about them. That building just got splattered. It's so close to the general. Really a shame that. Oh, we are lined up the best we possibly could. That's not too bad, you know. Are they going to come in? They're just going to take it. If they just want to take it, we might just have the opportunity we need. Because I reckon if they're down to about 25, we can win this. But full 36 odd, I'm not expecting. You guys are particularly terrible, aren't you? We've got one or two more rounds here. 31. Let's just keep this going, lads. Keep it going. They're idle. Not paying any attention to the cannon shooting at them. Oh, that was terrible. We are officially, I think, on the last go. Do your best, please, chaps. Make this one count. Make it count. Terrible. Both of them were absolutely terrible. Okay, in comes their trebuchet to start causing us problems, so we probably need to start running into position as much as possible. I've got my two Papal Guard here, haven't I? Indeed, I do. Charge into the bodyguard. Charge onto that flank there. You guys go and pin them down. Keep them busy. Charge in to them. Bombard lads, just aim for that one lonely spear militia who seems to be hiding in there. There's a few halberds as well. Right, we just need to get in now. There. Oof. Not a bad shot. That could have actually won them the battle right there if they'd hit that, but they didn't quite. And with this, we might just be able to win. How are we doing? We're fresh. Well, thank God this is medieval too, because we might actually have an opportunity here. So, get on top of that general. All over him. Charge whatever you can. Sudanese lads, try and get yourself around this flank as well, please. We've got them hacked off now. Yeah, that's good. That is good indeed. Where the Sudanese guys are running away. This is not ideal. How are we doing? Down to 17. We've just got to keep fighting for as long as possible here. Are we going to be able to beat these chaps? We are just about even with the artillery, amusingly. But we're just going to keep going. It's down to these two Papal Guard units, really, with the three of them. Slowly, they're going to hack away. I've left those 4 behind just in case they were needed. 12 here. They are winning, but if nothing else, it just keeps them busy. But this is going right down to the wire. 73% to 94%. I think we'll be fine, so we just don't need to not break. But it seems like the infantry are happy enough. Hopefully they won't break if we lose a general. It doesn't seem like we're going to lose the general, or it shouldn't matter so much because it is only a random bloke. But a little charge in here from these Papal Guard might just make a difference. Down to 4. I think we've got it. Time is our friend at this point. These two chaps can come back in. We'll leave those chaps behind. Those 4 can just make sure they guard the walls. Down to 2. He is fighting right to the death here, but in the end, the Sultan will go down. The last few men have successfully eradicated Egypt from Egypt, which totally is legitimate. Sultan al-Hafiz is now gone. Average victory. That was a stunning victory, thank you very much. I don't know how simple you thought that was going to be, game, but it was always going to be a bit of a trek. Papal Guard hopefully can get themselves retrained in the coming turns. And with that, Cairo finally goes down. And do we want to exterminate or sack? We're just going to sack because you know what? I am a bit of a masochist and that's all I'm going to do. So we'll get ourselves a spy, assassin, and merchant because why ever not? We will go and can we get any troops? We can't. These guys can't make it here, and that's the most important thing. If we can just hold off 1 turn, we will be absolutely fine. Keep moving down south, and that's very positive indeed. By the way, Damascus is now imperial territory. Not sure how I feel about that. They're supposed to have these 2 and these 2 only. Would rather prefer they go and take Aleppo, but no, they want to kill their fellow Christians instead. I was looking around at who we could murder just to get some practice in, and I found this little princess here, 21 but 7 charm already. Absolutely insane. I think I've got up to 8 or maybe even 9 before, but they were definitely about 28 by the time I managed that. 21. Impressive work, Mr. AI. And yeah, these spies are going to make this all very difficult indeed. I'm just going to try and kill one of the other people just to see if I can cause a bit of an issue. 1 kill might just help me set up others, but alas, not. The problem is this guy's probably, I imagine, quite mindful. He's got an overseer, but that isn't anything to do with being killed. No, he hasn't really got anything specific by the looks of it in terms of not being murdered. It's just there are way too many spies around, so we're just going to have to try and hack down the spies first and foremost, which hopefully at the very least will give us some training if they don't get themselves killed. So just keep on going for the spies, and no, we're getting nowhere fast. At the very least, it's not doing anything to boost his defensive stats. It does seem like the Egyptians are finally going to head back towards Datus. The army that was hanging around Cairo has indeed moved past Gaza and towards the Holy Land. Though fortunately we have managed to take out their general with our Inquisitor. Datus, sadly, 2 turns away from Ballista Towers, isn't quite going to make it in time, which is a bit of a shame. This army, though, is mainly siege equipment, so we should be fine to take them on, although still a fair few Saracen militia who aren't the worst things in the world, but I reckon if we get ourselves a couple more of the Italian militia, yeah, Italian spear militia even, will be okay to defend that. I'm going to get another one of the catapults too. Darters will be absolutely fine. In the meantime, we're sending these troops over down toward Jeddah, which isn't very well defended anyway. Let's just go and make sure we deal with the menace of Egypt. Elsewhere, well, I suppose we have a few more things to worry about. Actually, I did just see, by the way, that Tbilisi has been sacked and the Turks are at war with the Timurids. So, don't really know where they're heading next. They'll probably take their time, as I say, with their reinforcements. But it does at least knock the Turks down to 1 final city. So, Egypt down to 2, Turks down to 1. That does mean that we're getting closer to eradicating, well, one of the problems anyway. Kaffa just gives us an eye on the old Mongol capital of Kiev. And yeah, the religion's actually still fairly Catholic over here, so not too worried about any of that. Meanwhile, in Zagreb, my spy's actually been kicked out, which is quite annoying, because now I can't really see anything that's going on here. But if we can kill any spy, I'd be very happy indeed. They have given me a particularly ridiculous this mission here. I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to succeed with this. We can just keep trying to at least kill one of the spies, but even that just isn't going our way. Only 7% chance to get in. So yeah, this isn't really working out, but on the plus side, we do seem to have peace. I think this big army just hovering around northern Italy seems to be putting everyone off. And why shouldn't it? I've even been going out of my way every time I see some Venetians to shoot them down with my missiles. So you can see we are picking up some experience here for some future battles, which is ideal, I think, because we want those guys nice and accurate for when we want to shoot them down in the field. Now, of course, we do need to give away Alexandria and Cairo, so of course we're going to give them over to Scotland this time. We'll grab our old alliance whilst we're at it. Now, what that means is that we should have a nice four-way alliance between Scotland, Denmark, and I think Poland were in that as well. No, it's actually the Holy Roman Empire. So us four are all allied with each other, and there's Poland to kind of hang around being friends with us. But it might be that that one has passed its course through time. We'll see about that. Scotland now have themselves plenty of troops. Hopefully they have something more than just cannons and trebuchets. As funny as that kind of thing is, it really won't help them if the Egyptians do somehow find a way to wangle their way back in this part of the world. But I think we are looking good now. This part of the world will sort itself out in time. I don't really care which Catholics take it over, but it's all Catholic now, which is the main thing, of course. Probably time to end our turn. You'll notice our money now is doing ridiculously well and pretty much just building all the most expensive things here to desperately try and catch up from those turns earlier where I had no money. Down to 3 turns now, and I have decided to just send people away and send them back, hoping it will refresh our view a little bit. And we can now see the leader again, so we're going to give him a little pop. I don't think it's too likely to succeed, but we'll just keep trying. I suspect this one isn't going to go very well, but I always like this one. Oh, he's done it! Is that it? Oh, the Doge is down. It is the Duke who is dead, and with that, we've now potentially made friends with the new Duke of Venice. That is beautiful. Yeah, just a little jiggle round. I was going to try and tease them out of the town with this force, but no, they can go home. Why do I have 2 boats here? I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. We'll jump jump onto the boat, head back to Venice. We don't need to worry about that. Now, we are still at war, but at this point we could start to try to make peace. Potentially, they should be a little bit more up for that at this point. So I'm going to take my lads out of their territory. All of these chats. The spy can just hang around at the border. That's fine. So we'll just stand there. That's good. That's just a merchant. And the Inquisitor, you know what, he will go away as well. Now, we'll get ourselves a diplomat. There we go. There's a nice diplomat. And we'll send him over to Zagreb. I don't actually know where their leader is right now, because he wasn't in Zagreb during that whole ordeal. But we have managed to clear him out, which is marvellously good news. At the very least, he might just be able to get some peace at long last. Portugal are neutral, but they are here ready to attack. The French, by the way, have never accepted peace. Not really sure why. So we'll gain ourselves another diplomat and worry about that at a later point. Right. Oh, Vatican is finally able to build something, so we should probably start building something. I don't really know what, to be honest. Let's get the huge cathedral, shall we? Yes, I think that's kind of suitable for our capital, Bologna. Likewise, we have money and we have things to build. This is a marvellous occasion. Let's get gunsmiths over here. Might as well. Kaffa also needs things built. This is lovely. Look at this money and cities that have free slots available. Isn't that just grand? Okay, Hungary are... Oh yeah, Hungary at war with us. Yeah, just... I'm not even sure. We saw this part. They attacked the Holy Roman Empire fleet. The one I was saying... Oh yeah, the bit where I said, yes, hopefully no one will attack us now. We're next to Poland and the Holy Roman Empire. And then Hungary just did exactly that. And we have no way right now of sorting this out because we have no diplomat over here. And now our assassin is also dead. So we'll have to find a way to speak to Hungary. Maybe once we're done speaking to Venice, we will do just that. We do need a fresh set of diplomats, to be fair. I think the guy over here in Bruges just died. We've got a new one coming in just in time. We can talk to the Scottish and the French over there. English don't seem to have come back. Seem to be stuck on their little island now. And Ireland, of course. Although that's Scottish. Ah, the Scottish have Dublin. That's marvellous. And York. Oh, England are falling apart. Maybe the Scottish will go and take Dongola in time. Perhaps they will. You, sir, get yourself around here. You can plod on to this tile. You're not particularly good, but it's okay. We will keep you around nonetheless. 42% Catholic over here. It's slowly getting converted. You're trading spices, which is very nice indeed. 700 on a term. I think it is now time to defend Indatis because it looks like they're ready to attack. A new general has taken up the reins, and with all this equipment, they're definitely going to break in. Indeed, the inevitable attack is here, and I'm not going to auto-resolve because I would very much like to take out as much of this as possible, and equally would like them not reinforcing Jeddah because this is a tiny force. We probably actually need a few more men to finish it up, and then we can start to turn this into only an elite army, because right now it's just drips and dregs and drags and terrible Italian spear militia. So we should probably clear them out once we've managed to hold this off. Although we could have Hungary in the meantime, but they'll probably be happy enough to take peace. Let's it in. Let's defend the Holy Land one more time. General is now coming in. They're still shooting random bolts and bricks and blocks into the city, but I guess we might as well just start shooting in at them. We set ourselves a few traps here or there in the city, just blocking up streets and paths to the centre. Their general wants to take us on immediately, then he is more than welcome. A few flaming orange shots. Actually, he does have an almost perfect shot down the street here. You should, if you're any good, be able to land a pretty ideal hit on these chaps. We'll see if they manage that. Now, this is the Italian spear militia. I haven't really got the best troops up here at the front. Should probably get these guys to start racing into the next position. Now, where are my flaming onager bolts, by the way, chaps? Very much like them to come and join in. Yeah, we've just shot ourselves in the back, haven't we? Indeed, we have. Aim for the Saracens at the back, then, please. That will be absolutely fine. Now, it looks like they are not rushing in any other direction, but there goes the general. That should make things a little bit easier. Well done, Italian spear militia. We'll leave those guys to continue blocking there, but we are going to rush these guys over in this direction as well, just to make sure we have some backup, because they're pretty much all flooding in at the front. Swiss Guard in this tiny little gap here. This is all I have, so that will have to do. These guys just hold in position. Hopefully we can get a few good shots into some of these lads in the meantime. Now, they might have sent someone around. It doesn't look like they have, actually. So it seems like our other chaps around the flank here are not necessarily all that useful right now. So we'll leave the main guys. We'll send the rest of them back around to support. Hopefully get some nice flaming shots in yet. It's been very hard to set these guys up. They're very reticent about doing any of that. So we'll leave the main general, who apparently is the other onager. In time he will come and join us. But for now, we're really just waiting for this guy to actually land a good hit. And not only this onager seems to be stuck in a position where it's not going to do anything, they are bugging out in all kind of ways here today. I couldn't get them anywhere closer to the walls at the start of the battle, and right now they're not doing anything else to help me either. But on the plus side, yeah, as these guys start to break, we will start to... There we go, there's one shot. We might start to at least catch them here. Now, I'm going to send these other guys Here are you. Yeah, you guys start coming round the side here. Yeah, these guys are going to come around here anyway, so you might have to catch these guys before they arrive. But on the plus side, they're now going to hit the Swiss Guard, and I don't think they're going to do an awful lot against them. But they are a bit of a thin set of men at this point in time. So perhaps it's time for these other lads to start joining the party. Not you guys, these three guys. You guys start piling forward. Hit those Saracen militia back there. Now, did some of those other guys around there, so they're not going to be able to flank. That's a bit of a long flank anyway, so I won't worry about that. Now, my spearmen are going to run into theirs. We will definitely take them out. And we've still got ourselves a few fresh men towards the centre. That is good. Now, the Swiss Guard, still holding. Still somehow holding here. They're even facing the wrong way, some of them. They're still managing to hold position. They are broken with the very, very sight of them. Yeah, they're onto 8 experience now as well. So they are, frankly, just ridiculous. So, the Sudanese chaps are turning up with the spear militia. Spear militia, maybe your job is to go and take on them. The Sudanese chaps, just keep on chasing the archers down. Looks like we might well win this one in time as well. They're down to 52. Sudanese chaps, go complete the circle. That'd be marvellous. You chaps just need to kind of hold this position once more. Lovely stuff. And with the long end circle, these chaps are also fleeing now. That's very much working in our favour. They're not sending anyone else around to flank here. So I'm just going to keep these guys standing in this street. Might as well stand here just in case. Sudanese chaps can continue to pour this way round. Jim's back in against us. Doesn't look like they're going to achieve an awful lot with him, though. I really like the Sudanese tribesmen, I must say. They are one of those units that are kind of cheap and cheerful. They can do surprisingly good work sometimes. They're probably going to lose this particular encounter unless they win by morale. We are shaking. They're wavering, but now back to shaking. So yeah, they're going to win this, but they've done a good job. They've been with us for a little while here, and at this point, they are coming back in for another push. But frankly, assuming we don't kill our own men, we should be absolutely fine, even with this just simple line of 18 Swiss pikemen. Sadly, the spear militia have decided to break at this particular moment. Bit of a shame, but not to be too unexpected, frankly. The unhorsed knights can probably finish off the job. They finished off the chaps who were before chasing down the Sudanese lads. They're pretty experienced, but again, we're going to struggle to retrain these guys, so we might as well just use them up. 7 experience, they'll have no issue, I would have thought, chopping through those chaps. As this flank holds once again, it's time for them to go for one final push towards the Swiss Guard, but I don't think they're going to be very successful with it. No, they've immediately routed. It's quite amusing. I don't know quite how I managed to get so high. I thank the minaret for that. Thank you very much. So let's get a little bit higher. No, sadly not. Fine. Time then to start running out with a few of these little forces. Take on all of these catapults and whatnot. I think we'll be okay, assuming they don't sort of land big hits on us as we come out, because that will very quickly break it all down. They're throwing cows at us. Look, they're throwing cows at their fellow trebuchet. That's amazing. Okay, you chaps, get on top of them. Get on top of them. I think slowly, as we get all that infantry out here, we'll be able to finish them up. But there are a few of them, and just one little hit from the trebuchet will cause all kinds of morale issues, but we pretty much got them here. Jerusalem has managed to hold. Lovely, lovely work. They're now burning down. How are they burning down? I don't know what we just did, but we've set them on fire, which is marvellously good work. And at this point, yeah, I think we activate the towers and they were probably in range, so that is just about it. One more unit here. Off to Jeddah next. The Papal Touring Army is very much in its final legs here, but if we can just take out Egypt, the job will be done, damn it. A clear victory then in the end. A few men lost, as you might well expect, but to be honest, they were a bit of an odd ragtag team. Quite a few spear militia thrown in last minute. I haven't purchased any of those for a long time, so it's good to see them at least remind me that they are fairly competent. On this occasion we will execute. Won't have any more of those lads around. Just need to make sure we've got a clear run at Jeddah. So, the Egyptians are still alive. That hasn't officially killed them. Toulouse, fine. It hasn't officially killed them, sadly. They still have a little bit left. But, as long as we get some peace with the likes of Hungary, I think we'll be fine to go and move on and finish this up. In the meantime, then, we'll just retrain the mainlands, which are, of course, the Papal Guard. We'll get one more built. Actually, do we want cannons? We have cannons over here. I think we'll be fine. We'll have to catch up with them, I think. As for Jeddah itself, yeah, a bit of a mixed bag, really. It's going to be a tight affair to go and grab that. So I might actually start running some of these men off in that direction now. So a couple of the spear militia. And I think largely the rest of it can stay around in the city. Good. You get over there. Dartus then, bit miserable. As you might expect, we'll repair those walls. That's going to be built up next turn. And at this point, yeah, we'll just have to retrain whatever it is that we can. Marvellous. Once we get peace of Hungary, there'll be nothing to worry about. I'm starting to get worried about the French, if I'm honest. They've now got Antwerp under siege. They've actually got Frankfurt at this point. So they are starting to become a little bit too dominant in Europe. Also, the Moors are dead. I think they just ran out of family members, and it wasn't my fault. I know I'm standing outside, but honestly, it wasn't me. So probably best to head over in this direction and at some point go and kill some more of those Portuguese lads. Now, as for Venice don't seem to want any peace at all, which is a little bit irritating. Still finding French assassins around though, so yeah, as we beat back more of the Portuguese chaps, it's back to the assassination games. And I don't quite know what we need to do with France, apart from this button, which is here again. And if I'm honest, France are becoming a bit of a pain. So I think we should call the crusade. Yes, Paris should go down. We've done some really good work over in the east. We've been converting a lot of the Muslims across to Christianity, but time to sort out a problem nearer to home. France are getting a little bit too big for their boots, so let's put them under a bit of pressure. As for the Mongols, they seem to have taken Bran now as well. Oh, I think they had that before, but certainly it's looking menacing as I start to look on the map. Thessalonica is still Hungarian and Corinth is still Byzantine, but I'm not sure how long all this is going to last. I'm sure I saw, yeah, Byzantine's also at war with the Timurids at this point, so both of these have fallen. Yes, as for Hungary, they didn't want peace either, so we're struggling to sort out some of this nonsense right now. On the plus side, we are only a couple of turns from Jeddah. Probably should have just got a boat when I was over here in the first place. Luckily, Cairo has calmed down. It was rebellion, but I like to think that our priests have helped to slightly help this situation, because it's now 55% Catholic. And that makes a big difference. And yes, if you wonder why our economy is so good, this is why. Between this and obviously this patch down here and over here at Arguan, it is just ridiculous how much money you can make from all of that. Otherwise, the rest of the map, yeah, you can make. I mean, to be fair, this guy, for example, 254, in 2 turns he's made up for his recruitment costs. So it's hardly like it's not worth it or anything like that. But certainly when you have those sorts of numbers. So what do we have from merchant trade? 5,000 a turn for merchant trade right now. When you have those kind of numbers coming in, it does make an awful lot of difference. The day is finally dawned of us, ladies and gentlemen. Pope Dartus is dead. Pope Dartus the cunning, Pope Dartus the tyrant, the killer, the man of many, many epithets. Possibly should be known, though, as Pope Dartus the great evangelist. For the East has fallen under Catholic hands pretty much through his reign. Certainly, the areas that were under a loose control before are now under strong grasp, and more importantly, they are well converted. All of these regions are now majority Catholicism. Indeed, if it wasn't for the Mongols over here, we possibly could have taken over the entire map in his very reign. Sadly, his work is not quite done, but ever was it complete? No. Pope Datus, it's been a long time, Turn 93 is what my little notebook tells me when he took over. Turn at 155 now. He has been here for over 30 years. Well, I say 30 years, you know what I mean. Over 60 end turns, so 30-ish years of his life anyway. Many, many more years of the game's weird time system. But yes, Pope Datus the Cunning, a great leader, a leader of the Papal States himself. And really, whilst at first I worried that he'd be some sort of mad, violent... Well, he has been a mad, violent Pope, but realistically, he has actually brought a lot of stability. A lot of stability. I've been whacking it through the turns these last few episodes because things are much more steady. We can make sensible progress. Great infrastructure projects have taken place. Gregory, Vatican, Toast have all become huge, huge city. Well, Gregory isn't quite there yet. It's a large city. It's getting there. It is truly getting there. In time, we will need to spread ever westward and take over the mysterious lands of the West. But currently we won't worry about any of that. For now, we need to move on. The greatest, I must say, the greatest of all our popes, Pope Datus, is dead. Now to Justina Preferati, and honestly I have no idea where we stand. It's awfully rude, isn't it, really, to go and stuff the Pope so readily after his death just so he can pose for this picture. But that seems to be what's going on. We have Denmark, Poland and Portugal. No. Okay, who would other people vote for? Spain have no alliances here. England don't like Denmark, but I'm going to vote for Denmark. Don't know how many votes I have. I had about 4. Apparently it was all in my eyes anyway. So Bernardus is now the Pope. And now we actually do have a huge cathedral over here, by the way, in the Vatican, I believe. Yes, 2 turns from completion. Pope Bernardus will oversee the final act of Datus's reign, which was to build the great Cathedral of the Vatican. Marvellous, marvellous stuff. Yes, thank you for that. I knew he was dead. So, Pope Bernardus of Denmark has been named the new Pope, which is great. We need to find out all about him in a moment. But before that, let's see what's going on. Poland, the Roman Empire, are now also with France. Yeah, this is basically the Napoleonic era all over again. England have been called back to desperately try and salvage the situation. Very good with the Holy Romans. Only poor with Venice. Apparently worsened to it, which is interesting. I thought that would have gone a lot worse than that by now, but apparently so. Okay, the Crusaders grown. Holy Roman Empire, Denmark and Poland all want to take on France. Oh yes, of course, that's what's happening. And Pope Bernardus is now our leader. What kind of man is he? He has a deacon and a nun among his retinue, chosen one, servant of God, and a faction leader. He's young as well. Oh God, he's going to be around forever. Okay, well, sir, Bernardus, you have a chance. You have a chance here to beat the reign of Datus. You are a young enough man, yet you can truly go on and become even greater. When we look at the annals, and try and remember the great works of our popes, this will be pretty much it, because if he's going to reign a good 50-60 turns, we have 71 remaining. So, yeah, not all that long left for the old Pope to do his work. Now, what do we want to achieve in that time? Well, of course, we are going to go take over the West. We've pretty much converted... Well, we've got Africa pretty much at this point. This is rebels, so in time someone's going to take this over. Not me, I should add. And obviously the Middle East has largely been converted. It's pretty much the Mongols and Timurids we're going to have to deal with at this point. So I think the short term, we need to wrap up all of our wars with Turkey and Egypt. They need to be finished. We need to move on from that. We need to try and stop the Hungarians from causing all this chaos. And we need to stop the French from taking over the whole world. But that aside, we are, I think, just about on track for our particular plan here. You'll notice that most of my armies sitting around are pretty experienced. You know, we've got the tier 3 experience pretty much on the units. These guys have some nice stuff on them, some nice powerful mortars as well. So what we need to do, I think, is try and build up our ideal force to go and deal with the Timurids. Now, perhaps assassination might be a good way of dealing with some of this. I don't know. If we can unite Europe, if we can get the French to stop being, French for long enough, he might be able to start turning our attention over to the Mongols. Kaffa might just give us a little launching pad. It is slowly getting slightly stronger. But I must say, our diplomacy. Obviously, I have the video on, like, trying to fix diplomacy on this game. You'll notice, obviously, it's been rather insane on this. My reputation is immaculate. Completely immaculate. And that does not change as the Pope. So it's all down to my relation with them. It's where you kind of see, to be honest. Look at this. Outstanding. Very good. Only poor with these factions. Realistically, my diplomacy should be good, but I'm very hard. Even if you do everything right, the game will just turn on you and kill you eventually. Especially on this, where there's so many factions. So many of them love a naval invasion. It worked quite well in the Kalmar Union, the diplomacy fix. I think partly because we could avoid so many of the factions for so long. But the minute you hit number 1 in any stat, like if you're number 1 on military, people will start attacking you. If you're number 1 on the amount of land, people will start attacking you. It's just the way the game is programmed. But hey ho, it does make a bit of a difference, or at least I think it does anyway. So, what's our plan from now then? Well, I guess the main thing here is to try and hold off against this lot. They haven't sent very much. I might not even need to show that battle. But Jeddah is almost going to go down. This is a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. The great project of Darters has finally
If there were any lingering doubts as to the power of the Church, they were dispelled once the people gazed upon God's... If there were any lingering doubts as to the power of the Church, they were dispelled once the people gazed upon God's greatest house on earth. Its towering presence here shall ensure Christian dominance throughout the land.
The great project of Darters is finally complete. The huge cathedral in the very capital of Catholicism oversaw, finally, by Pope Bernardus. It is a marvellous day, and of course to celebrate we'll continue to burn down some lovely French buildings. So we'll continue to do that, see if we can annoy these guys once again. We did that before. We can... Oh, he died. That made things worse for France, but to be honest, they hate us anyway. Anyway, we'll continue to try and murder them in time. Now, the most important thing, of course, is down here at Jeddah. Because we do now have the city under siege, we can crack down the gates and head in. Now they have some of their own bombards and all that nonsense, but all we need is these 8 men to crack down the walls. As for the rest of their troops, honestly, nothing much at all. Some much militia, some Kurdish javelin men, a few Mamluks to take care of. They are a little bit troublesome, but in a city we can pin them down. Let's head in. With the gates blown down then, we're just going to charge in with a few of our slightly weaker troops. We'll just hold back the Swiss Guard and the full Papal Guard units for a bit later if we need them. The cannons, well, I could go and break down the walls, but they are just shooting at us from a distance. So at this point, I kind of like to get going, actually. So as for the rest of these chaps, we'll just get them over here, nice and out of the way. Same for these guys. Why is the frame rate going weird there? That was very, very strange. Okay, we seem to clear them out. No issue whatsoever. We'll just smash down this tower to make sure it won't cause us any problems. Yeah, it looks like immediately we're just going to end up in a big scrum. In fact, that kind of works for us, actually. Might as well just keep on charging. These guys are just piling their way in. Down goes the general. And with that, the way to the plaza is opening up. They are... Oh, yes. That works for us. Okay, you guys, turn back a moment. Don't really want to face them all over here, so let's just get ourselves back towards the gate. Let's establish control of this. Get up and kill those archers first, please. We seem to miss this tower tons of times. There we go. Finally, it crumbles along with the frame rate from cannons. They really don't like the siege equipment, do they? So, as they start to move in this direction, we can probably start thinking about moving back, because as long as we can catch them off the plaza, I'm fairly happy. Starting to run out of men now. Yeah, pretty much the first wave has got themselves killed and they are fleeing. We'll just let them recover and we'll send in the rest of the forces. Want to see how much they could do there. 33% to 33%. Felt like we'd killed more, but I think there's just a lot of odd little units around here who need to go down. So as they start to recover, we'll send in the new lads. So you guys start running in. Just actually give it a little jog, to be honest. If we can get these guys up on the walls, that would be great. Maybe we'll move move this cannon into a slightly better position. In come the proper infantry at this point, and we're just going to start shooting over the top, if at all possible. We seem fairly incompetent, to be honest, but yeah, we're going to try and shoot down where we can. Looks like we are chunking through them now. We've got the superior troops at the front. Still got some Swiss Guard, actually, if we really, really need them. They are shooting into us with their missiles. Isn't great for our morale, actually. Infantry are now starting to take on all of their cannons and whatnot, because I do need to start getting on top of all of this. Come on, get on top of all of them. Send in the cav at this point. They need to go and try and finish off what they can. We've got like one unit fighting to the death here, but frankly the cavalry will finish it off. Been a bit of a bitty affair, this one. What do you expect, though? We've just thrown some random units into their final city. Right, get on top of those chaps. That's pretty much it. Anyone else? I think that's all of them. And with that, victory is pretty much assured. 47% lost. Mostly trash, but they've done their job. And that's all we could have asked. And Jeddah falls into our hands, and with that, more glowing white fills the map. Shall we sack the settlement? I think so, because we're only going to give it away to someone in time. Relation report, France and Egypt hate us. Hardly surprising. Now, we're going to send a spy up north. And there is still... Wow, they've hired some elephants. Oh my, they've hired up some elephants. We better go and kill a... Oh, how are we going to kill a hippo? How are we going to kill a hippo? I might have to sally forth and take on those chaps. Now, construction approval. Good. The Vatican is very, very happy. A light clap of about 4 people there. Very nice indeed. A few more wars going on. Poland and Venice. That works for me. France and Egypt are allies. That doesn't really matter. Portugal and France were at war for a turn. Brilliant. Otherwise, a big pile of messages that I really don't care about. But these are 2 big buildings being finished up. Now, we've got a few more turns until we need to start building up our big old, the big old dockyards, so that we can start moving onwards. To deal with that situation, I should probably try and get some of these ships out so I can start clearing off the French, because they're starting to irritate me. And to be honest, I might as well... Oh, they have gun hulks. Well, they have... Why did they have gun hulks? Damn it. Okay, I really need to kind of catch up with some of the ship stuff, I think. So, what are we going to do? Marksman range, catapult maker. Yeah, I think that will do for now. We'll keep it on that. And we'll try and see how this... Portugal. I thought they just declared peace. Yet you're on crusade. Are they just going to hang around now? I don't know. Very strange. Hungary have accepted peace and reconciliation, which is marvellous news. It means that Dartus over here doesn't need to fight, and we can instead retrain what we've got, and they would just send 3 lads over to Hippo. In fact, to be honest, can we do it with what we've got here? Probably can. I'm possibly getting ahead of myself now. You know what? Get going. Get going. We'll make it there in a few turns. We will build up a few more troops on our way. Hopefully Jeddah can hold out until then. We're not going to do anything here, to be honest. We are just going to pass this over to, I think, Denmark, to be honest. It feels like it should be theirs in my mind. Certainly I don't trust Hungary. I can tell you that much. As for the... as for the Timurids, I'm not quite sure where they're at the moment. It's somewhere around here. I imagine they've had more reinforcements show up. What should probably do with this spy, start sending him up, actually, into the Armenian mountains. perhaps he will find something of interest. So we'll leave this diplomat hanging around here. In fact, it'd be better to maybe float around here, because then we get to Antioch or to Acre whenever we need it. Probably for the best. Oh, it is a beautiful, beautiful day. All of my spies and assassins have made Damn Blast rebel. That is exactly what I was looking for. On to the next city then, Marseille. You need to go down as... Okay, Marseille isn't going to go down. Not right now. Marseille's going to go down. 90%. Okay, well, we can send everyone around to go deal with you. Apparently there's a spy in there. That is my spy, Thomas. Please don't kill your own spy. Very easily done. I've definitely done that a fair few times before. Set the fire. And we'll send more and more people to burn more and more down. Don't tell anyone the Pope is burning down abbeys. It's fine. These are the unofficial cronies of the Pope. So there we are. Right, Marseille is down to 65. It can't be too happy, but it should probably get some more agents in this part of the world anyway. I'm sure it's fine. What are you doing here, by the way? They really need to royally sod off, don't they? Okay. This chap over here is quite happily marking over the border. I do have a plan, though, for this lad, who I would like to go and send over to the east. Now, we're not going to take his army with him. Not really worried about any of that. We'll keep these guys. These broken lancers really should have been retrained at some point. They can get retrained now. We're going to send these guys over to the east. I would very much like to have a general, at the very least, over in Dartus. We'll see if he survives. Hopefully he will. If not, it's fine. He is... It's fine. Yeah, we can just replace him. So, Hippo is going to go down. This will be the end of Egypt. It's been a long road, but Egypt finally can go down. Not the worst leader here of all time, but quite frankly, I think we should have him. It is a fortress, 2 layers to take care of, 7 experienced spear militia, and some peasants. This guy could be a little bit tricky, but we do have ourselves plenty of papal guard, plenty of spearmen. We know they can do the job against generals. Time to go. It's a simple enough case then of just shooting down the gate. They don't seem to be doing anything to stop us, so yeah, that one certainly won't take very long. And from there, I guess, check if we've got shots. And yeah, just send the infantry in, because quite frankly, that's all we need to do. Get the infantry, charge them forward. A few men lost by the towers as we ran through the gates, but pretty much we've just strolled straight in, taking out the last of their units. The infantry didn't last that long, down to the peasants. Then it's the bodyguard. We're trying to shoot apparently, but we're not doing a very good job of it. Oh lads, you can just come through, you know. Maybe they can't. Maybe they're just stuck. Oh well. Let's not worry about any of that then. Let's get ourselves lined up for a charge and take on that general. Down he goes, the final Egyptian leader. And with that, a great foe has been defeated, and one of our big obstacles towards making the world a Catholic place. It certainly seems like the Orthodox factions are being knocked out without us really needing to do anything. So with this, it's only the Turkish capital, which I'm not too worried about dealing with, to be honest. I think they'll take care of themselves, or at least the Timurids will. We will see. But I think for now, that's a good place to leave it, ladies and gentlemen. Hippo is back under Catholic control. We will sack it once more. And a faction, Egypt, have been destroyed. The Moors in Egypt have gone then. We lost Sicily early on, Milan a few episodes back. But things are really very much looking up in the world. Denmark can have... Oh, should we give that to Denmark now? Maybe we give this over to the Imperials. I think this goes to the Imperials. And this over here goes over to the Danes. Yeah, that seems like a sensible choice. But of course we did need to go and name one of our cities. So before we do that, I suppose we do need to name one of these cities in honour of... what was his name? Benedictus? I should really go. I'm going to look up the name, make sure I spell it right and all of that nonsense. But yes, our great crusading hero who has somehow led this ragtag dregs of an army to go and take both Jeddah and Dartus before the final lot went up to take a hippo. Oh, it's been an interesting episode, really. We spanned a fair few turns. Pope Dartus obviously passed away. We've given him a long eulogy. And Venice is still at war with us as the French, but they're starting to learn a few lessons. Certainly Venice aren't taking us on anymore. As for the French, well, we do have a crusade going over towards Paris, so hopefully they're at least learning their lesson and we'll just put them back in their place. But really, of course, the main thing is to spread Catholicism, and the main threat to that now are the Mongols, who are floating around the boats, and the Timurids, who somewhere in these mountain ranges they lurk indeed. I suspect we'll start to find them now if we start wandering around. Not quite in our vision yet, but they must be somewhere close. Maybe we'll find out more about that next time, but for now I will leave you. I'm Thomas, Titanos the Human, and this has been our Papal States Pacifist Run. Thank you, and goodbye.
By Jove, it is a marvellous, marvellous day. Spiffing, one would say. Any one for Pims. He has seen the light, he's joined the anarchy, he is cruel and cunning, and you know what, he likes a little drink, and I think that's marvellous. La 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 la, chop your way through the peasants. One shot! No!